Hey guys, Myles here at Tactical Hyve, joined by Joe Farewell, who you've seen in our other videos, and we're here today to talk to you about limited optics, which is starting on May
1st provisionally. I think it's going to take off though.
Yeah, so if you're interested in hearing what we have to say about it, stay tuned. All right, guys, welcome back. So if you haven't heard, well, let's backtrack. In USPSA, if you shoot a red dot, there's really only two divisions, right? Carry optics and open. And there's been a lot of people, like I was talking to Joe earlier, there's been a lot of people who are buying like the Staccatos and other 2011 platforms.
I think the 2011, the year of the 2011 has happened. Last year, like it just blew up across the market. And so many people over the past couple of years really dived into this market of wanting to get a nicer gun than a Glock or a CZ or something like that, something that's different with a better trigger. And so the proliferation of 9mm double stack 2011s has just been blowing up. And of course, red dots have come onto the scene. And if you had traditionally in USPSA, if you had a 1911 or a 2011 with a red dot on it, it would automatically put you into open division. Yeah. And if you're not running 38 Super Comp Space Gun, you're at a severe disadvantage. So everyone that wanted to run their 1911 or their 2011 in USPSA, running minor power factor, 9mm ammo, was at a disadvantage. Yeah. So I'm excited because I think this is going to be a good step in the right direction. They saw how effective it was to create carry optics, and it's now, I think, the #1 biggest division by a long shot.
By far, yeah.
Why do you think carry optics is taking off so much?
I mean, it's the future, right? I mean, red dots are, if they're easier to shoot, you can shoot faster, more accurately, and this is just the natural progression.
And I don't think there's a single production gun anymore that's not coming already milled for red dots. I think every SIG, M&P, Glock, Walther, like every gun now is coming already made to take a red dot.
Yep, and you can tell there's a shift already because for a while now, the production division has been kind of slowly dying. Oh yeah. And then limited now, this past year, I've noticed a drop too. Looking at the competitors and things like that, it's shifting. So a lot of people are moving to the red dot. When I first heard about limited optics, I actually thought it was going to be just like limited division, where you're at an advantage if you shoot major power factor and just adding a red dot on those guns. But I was surprised to learn, like Joe told me, no, you could actually, it's actually lower power factor.
It's minor power factor across the division. So just like carry optics or production or PCC, it's minor power factor across the divisions. So now you can take a regular 9mm, Staccato or Atlas. I'm running, this is what I'm gonna be running for limited optics is an Atlas Athena. We can put a magwell on it, which you can't do in carry optics. We can have a super, phenomenal trigger, and it can be tuned properly for your 9mm ammunition versus running a Glock or something like that. And it doesn't push everyone to have to run 40 caliber to be competitive, which I love. I think it's going to be a great division.
And that's a good, you brought up a point which connects into why, this is a Glock 34 with a red dot, so this would be a gun you could use for carry optics. Now, why would someone want to do limited optics versus, let's say, going with carry, or let's say pros and cons? What would you think?
Pros and cons. I think pros and cons, I would say, it's hard to say one way or the other, but some of the benefits, like shooting carry optics is generally going to be less expensive to get started in. Okay, you can get a $600 gun, put a $300, $500 red dot on top of it, and be able to compete immediately. Yeah. Whereas going into limited optics, to be competitive in limited optics, you're going to want a 2011. I mean, that's what it's designed for. It's everybody wanting a 2011. Now, could you run a Glock 34 with a magwell? Yes, but if you take the magwell off, it's good for carry optics. So I think you're going to be seeing everybody in limited optics running some sort of a 2011 with a red dot on it.
The way I think about it too is people who shoot open, they're really tricked out. They're modified guns, but it's like they really want to shoot fast and accurately, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just one of those things where, man, I can go faster. Let me go open. I think this is an opportunity for those who, let's say you are shooting carry optics already, and you're having a great time, but now it's like, oh, you can shoot limited optics and you can go faster. And you can, you could just go blaze it without having to trick your gun out too much like open shooters.
Right, and I think this is going to open up another venue for law enforcement to get into it as well. A lot of law enforcement are now going to a 2011 platform.
That's right. Yep.
They're not running compensators, so that's one of the things, one of the rules as far as that division is you can't have a compensator. You can run a sight block, but no compensator. So a lot of law enforcement, like this is more of a tactical gun setup in general, maybe a little bit different magwell, it's kind of a bigger magwell, but this has backup iron sights. This has the ability to be, a duty grade gun that is going to encourage people who have one either just for plinking because these things are freaking awesome, they're super fun to shoot, or members of the professional community who are carrying a 9mm 2011 to have a way to get into the sport that's not overwhelmed by race guns.
Yeah. And I think that's a big thing. That's a key word, overwhelming. Like even when I first got into competition, I thought like, when I first even started Tactical Hyve and just started training, I was like, man, I don't want to do competition because overwhelm was a big thing. I'm thinking in the back of my mind, like, oh man, it's intimidating. Not necessarily the competition, but even just the gear. It's like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. If I want to be competitive, I'm going to have to upgrade everything. And just like, but the more you do it, the more you understand it's not necessarily the case, and also you can find a division that's right for you.
Right.
So if someone already has, like say, a 2011 platform, and they wanted to get in competition, now they don't have to go to open and be at a severe disadvantage.
Or even limited, limited, going from a regular 2011 without a red dot going into limited. If you're not shooting 40 caliber, you're at a disadvantage because you're taking points away from you if you hit a Charlie or Delta. So you have to hit A zones, which is a good idea anyway. You want to be hitting those A zones anyway, but you are at a disadvantage going into limited, whereas limited optics, because it's all an even playing ground where, hey, 9mm is the way and everyone's running 9mm now because nobody really wants a 40 or 45.
Yeah.
I think it's going to just open up the doors for a lot of people who would wanted to get into the sport, but didn't want to necessarily go the high end to get a full-blown race gun. They didn't want to go get a 40 because nobody wants 40.
Yeah.
And then
I still shoot a 40, but it's because I'm in the limited division. But that's going to change.
I only shoot 40 when I shoot. I haven't shot a 40 in like 2 years, I think. It's been a while since I've shot a match in limited.
But that's precisely why. It's just to shoot.
It's just for that division. Yeah. Otherwise, I would not have a 40.
Exactly. So what are some of the differences? I mean, you already touched upon some things. Like for those of you who are shooting carry optics already, you might be wondering, okay, so what's allowed, what isn't? Now, I know that they haven't finalized anything, so these are just some things top of mind. So so this would be like a normal carry optics gun. Joe already mentioned in limited optics, we know you can throw a magwell on there. You can have, the sight block, all that stuff. What other things stand out with the biggest differences? I guess it's the platform, really.
The platform.
Right? Yeah, the platform.
So really it does come down to the platform. Traditionally, you haven't been able to run a single action only trigger like what we have in the 2011, where it's a hammer fired single action. Like in carry optics, you can run the CZ, but that's double action first. You have to have the double action first. So you're gonna see a lot of people running like the CZ Tac Sport Orange, which is single action only. You're gonna have people, most of them are gonna be running some sort of a 2011 platform, and you're gonna be able to run the red dot on there, obviously, and be competitive with 9mm. I think that's, and of course the magwell. But those are the biggest differences between a carry optics gun, which is traditionally striker fired. It has to be a production model gun, and no single action triggers in that division. So I think that's really the biggest differences.
And for those of you who are new to just overall divisions, even carry optics, all that stuff, if you want to, so we kind of discussed what's the difference between carry optics and limited optics, just the info that we have and know right now. There could be a lot more. I know, again, they haven't finalized everything. But if you're just getting into USPSA, if you want to know what gun you can use for carry optics, essentially if you can use it for the production division, you can use it for carry optics as well. You just add the optic, all right? So just if you're new, just so you're aware. But again, carry optics, compared to limited optics, you could go a lot much faster. You can do a lot more with limited optics. So I'm excited about it as well. and I could start loading a lot more 9mm than 40. You know, so I'm changing my reloading, all the dies.
Just throw the 40 dies out the window. You don't need those anymore. Nobody's gonna, I think you're gonna see, seriously though, I think you're gonna see limited just absolutely nosedive in participation.
I'm thinking that might be the case. It may not even be about, sometimes, you know, it may not even be about the platform anymore. It's just more like kind of we were talking about, the ammo.
Yeah.
It's like no one just wants to use 40.
Well, it shoots harder.
Yeah.
It's harder to come by. It's not the same, like everything else, every other gun that I own is 9mm. I have a 45, a couple 45s, and I have 140 for limited division. That's it. That's its only purpose. I have like 5,000 rounds of 40 cal ammo that I only break out when I'm practicing for a match or actually shooting a match. That's the only time that it comes out.
So yeah, we're excited about this. It starts May 1 provisionally. I don't know exactly when it's going to be, I guess.
I think they have to run it for a year, but I'm not 100% on that. I think they run it for a year and then they adopt it. It's going to be adopted. I don't see this going anywhere. They may tweak some of the rules. Everyone wants this division, so it's going to happen. It's the way of the future. Limited is going to disappear. And then if you want to learn how to shoot competition, I know we've done videos on like getting into competition. I've done videos on my channel. We've done videos together about getting into competition. I've got a dry fire program. I haven't told you about this, but I got a dry fire program coming for competitive handgun, which I'm excited about.
So look out for it, guys.
In my dry fire mastery courses, so excited about that.
Yeah, guys, and if you know, here at Tactical Hyve, we've always talked about this, and if you guys are tuning in on Sundays, you probably are already into competitions. That's cool. Those of you who aren't in competition yet, you've seen guys on our channel who are from the tactical world talk highly about it. And I mean, Joe, you know, was a SWAT member too, and he credits a lot of, I mean, practically all of his shooting, you know, skills to the sport. So this is something, guys, to check out, and don't let your equipment hinder you. Now there's going to be a division. So if you do have a 2011 platform and you haven't been wanting to enter because you don't want to go down a division or you don't want to go up, well, now's your chance. So it's more reason to enter a competition, and you guys are going to benefit from it a lot.
And if you have any questions at all as far as what divisions you might fit into or how you can get set up, feel free to hit me up personally, drop a comment down below. Of course, subscribe so you can see all the cool stuff that Tactical Hyve is sending out. And other than that, anything to add?
No.
Cool, thank you guys.
Enjoyed the video, and we'll see you guys next time.
Cheers.